The Shinobigatana, legendary weapon of the infamous ninja. Often referred to as the Obake Ken, or Ghost Blade, it is a weapon utilized for its speed and concealment. Its blade is only 20 inches long and is usually straight. However, unlike most swords, it is barely sharpened, having only a slight bevel to its edge. This is due to the fact that the ninja often grabs the blade to intensify a block or an attack. In effect, the Shinobigatana can cut, but it is more commonly slammed into its target with concussive force. It is equipped with a 16-inch handle that allows more leverage to be applied when attacking. The handle can also be used as a weapon, utilized for its ability to apply powerful grappling techniques. Between the handle and the blade is the sword's handguard. This is a 5-inch square plate that serves as a shield to protect the ninja's hands when clashing with another weapon. Its scabbard is designed to be strong enough to wield as a weapon on its own. It also has a special blinding powder that is concealed within its lower tip, which can be used to initiate an attack or cover an escape. Attached to the side of the scabbard is a long length of cord that serves the ninja in many situations. It can be used to bind an enemy, set tripwires, or as an extension used to flail the scabbard. Because of its many hidden abilities, the Shinobigatana is far more versatile than an ordinary sword. Its design is utilitarian, stressing usefulness over ornamentation. Even if the ninja were armed only with the Shinobigatana, they would still have a veritable arsenal at their disposal. The bokuto, or wooden sword, has been used by ninja swordsmen since the 14th century to practice and perfect their craft. Being made of hardwood such as white oak, the bokuto was not only an effective tool for practice, many ninja also used it as a primary weapon because it housed the solid clubbing blows of a staff, but moved with the grace and fluidity of a sword. Gripping the sword properly is imperative. A grip must not be too tight, and the arm should never lock into a fully extended position. Instead, the grip should be firm, and the arm should remain slightly bent and pliable. The first grip is called jun nigiri, or basic grip. The right hand should grip slightly below the guard, and the left hand should be placed at the base of the hilt to provide maneuverability and leverage. This is the Gyaku Nigiri, or reverse grip. The right hand grips just below the guard, and the left hand stabilizes the weapon by gripping at the base of the hilt. The Hitote Nigiri, or single hand grip, can be applied in both a forward and reverse position. With the left hand disengaged from the handle, the sword's mobility and range is greatly increased. However, a single grip also limits the amount of leverage behind its attacks. The ninja must learn to maneuver the sword from a forward grip to a reverse grip, or from a reverse grip to a forward grip, very quickly and smoothly. There are a variety of methods that can be used. The first method is the dropping reversal. To practice this maneuver, the sword is held with its blade pointed outward in the right hand. The ninja then allows the blade to fall forward. Using its downward momentum, he transfers control from his thumb to his fingers. Upon completion, the sword is concealed behind the torso. The dropping reversal can also be applied in the opposite direction, allowing the sword to emerge from its point of concealment behind the back and into a front guarding posture. The second method is the rising reversal. To practice this maneuver, the ninja holds the sword with its blade pointed downward in the right hand. He shifts his grip so the hilt is positioned between his pointer and middle fingers. The sword is then tossed upward. As the weapon nears full rotation, the grip is switched to the thumb briefly as the fingers are repositioned to secure a strong reverse grip. The sword finishes in a horizontal stabbing or throwing position at the right side of the head. The third method is the overhead reversal. To practice this maneuver, the ninja holds the sword straight out to their right side at shoulder level. Then he shifts his grip so the hilt is positioned between the pointer and middle fingers. The sword is then rotated horizontally over the head. As the sword nears full rotation, the grip switches to the thumb as the fingers are repositioned to secure a strong reverse grip. The sword finishes in front of the body. The fourth method is the inside reversal. To practice this maneuver, the ninja holds the sword with its blade positioned low and in front of the body. The blade is dropped slightly as the hilt is placed between the pointer and middle fingers, and then rotated upward in front of the body. As the sword's rotation nears completion, control switches to the thumb, while the fingers are repositioned to secure a reverse grip. The sword finishes in a vertical position in front of the body. There are 4 ways a Kurai Kotori ninja carries their sword. The first method is the side drop position. The ninja places the weapon snugly through his sash on the left side of the body. This allows the sword to be drawn from left to right, heaven to earth, or earth to heaven. The second method of carrying the weapon is called rear position. The ninja places the sword into a sash across his back, keeping the hilt on the right side of his body. The scabbard is controlled with the left hand, while the right hand is used to launch a variety of drawing attacks. The third method of carrying the sword is the shoulder position. The ninja places the weapon on his back with the handle extended over his right shoulder. He then wraps the cord around the lower end of the scabbard and around his waist to secure the weapon. From this position, the sword can be drawn into a downward attack. The fourth method of carrying the sword is the free position. The ninja wraps the cord around his hand several times and then grasps the upper end of the scabbard. From this position, the sword can be drawn in almost every fashion, but a hidden draw behind the back is perhaps one of the most effective. Ninja swordsmanship utilizes a variety of postures that reflect both attitude and appearance. These postures are extremely important because they teach the ninja the most effective positions from which to launch offensive and defensive tactics. There are 16 postures used by the Kurai Kotori ninja. The first posture is Danryu no Gamai, or Earth Dragon. In this posture, the ninja holds his sword in a vertical position at his right side. His feet are positioned beyond shoulder width with the left foot predominant, and his weight is distributed equally. The second posture is Okashi no Gamai, or Great Oak. This is the ninja's natural posture. The sword is held at the right side with the tip angling slightly forward. The feet are positioned in an L fashion, with the left foot predominant. The third posture is Iwaya no Gamai, or Cavern. This posture is a guarding position. The sword is held directly in front of the ninja at mid-level, with the right foot predominant. This position controls the center. The fourth posture is Mizuryu no Gamai, or Water Dragon. In this posture, the sword is held horizontally over the head on the right side, with its tip pointing straight forward. The left foot is forward, and the body's weight is favored to the rear. The fifth posture is Taki no Gamai, or Waterfall. This is a defensive posture that utilizes a reverse grip. The sword is held vertically with the tip pointing to the ground. The body remains open, with the left foot slightly predominant. The sixth posture is Kasumi no Gamai, or Mist. This posture conceals the reverse sword behind the ninja's right shoulder. The left foot is forward, and the knees favor a slight bend. The seventh posture is Hiryu no Gamai, or Fire Dragon. In this posture, the sword is held angled across the body to the left side, with the left foot predominant. The body favors a slight forward lean. The eighth posture is Musashi no Gamai, or Ember. In this posture, the sword is held reversed in a horizontal fashion at head level on the right side. The left foot is predominant, and the left hand is extended outward. The ninth posture is Kazan no Gamai, or Volcano. In this posture, the sword is held vertically above the head in both hands, with the eyes directly between the arms. The feet are positioned with the left foot forward and the right foot deep to the rear. The 10th posture is Kazeryu no Gamai, or Wind Dragon. In this posture, the sword is held with its tip pointing to the rear along the right side of the body. The left foot is forward, and the feet are a bit beyond shoulder width apart. The 11th posture is Kumo no Gamai, or Cloud. In this posture, the sword is held horizontally to the rear in the right hand. The left hand is positioned in front of the chest, and the legs are positioned together. The 12th posture is Hapa no Kamai, or Rustling Leaves. This is a kneeling posture with the left foot forward and the right knee on the ground. The sword is held in the right hand, low and to the rear. The 13th posture is Kogoshiryu no Gamai, or Celestial Dragon. This is a full standing posture with the right foot predominant. The sword is held pointed straight down in front of the right leg. The 14th posture is Hangetsu no Gamai, or Half Moon. This is a full standing posture with the left foot predominant. The sword is held to the right side of the body with the tip angled to the ground. The 15th posture is Nagaraboshi no Gamai, or shooting star. This is a low posture with the right foot predominant. The sword is held across the front of the body at hip level, with the tip pointed forward. The 16th posture is Karaigetsu no Gamai, or Dark Moon. In this posture, the sword is held in a horizontal reverse grip in front of the body. The left foot remains predominant. These postures serve as the foundation from which the ninja must learn to initiate their tactics. They are not to be mimicked, but rather internalized so the ninja can respond naturally from each of them. The ninja must practice these positions until they can be assumed without thought, and once proficient, the ninja can begin randomly switching from posture to posture in an effort to gain insight into which positions blend into one another in a fluid transformation. There are 9 basic directions of attack that are applied with virtually all weapons. These attacks involve upward and downward attacks, side-to-side attacks, downward and upward angular attacks, and a forward thrust. There are 2 main sets for practicing basic attacks. The first set is applied with a forward grip with both hands. The set begins with a downward attack followed by an upward attack. The sword is then maneuvered into left and right side attacks, downward and upward angular attacks, and finally, a forward thrust. It is very important to allow the sword to flow with the energy of the cuts. There must be no rigidity as the maneuvers blend together with natural elegance. Once proficient with the maneuvers, the speed of the set can increase. The first set can also be applied with a single forward grip. Controlling the sword in this fashion is very valuable when wielding a secondary weapon in the opposite hand. The second set is performed with a reverse grip. This set uses both a double grip and a single grip, depending on the direction from which the attack is being launched. The reverse method of using the sword is a ninja specialty. From this position, the sword can not only launch a variety of powerful leverage attacks, it can also be used as a defensive shield. It is imperative that the ninja practice these maneuvers diligently. These exercises will build grace and elegance, strengthen the wrists and forearms, and enhance the ninja's understanding of blade dynamics. To become a strong swordsman, the ninja must perform a variety of conditioning exercises. This first exercise is called takubichikara, or wrist strengthening. To practice, the ninja uses a saburito, which is a wooden sword that is much heavier and longer than a normal bokuto. The ninja assumes a straddle-leg position and begins by raising the sword overhead. As each cut descends, the ninja bends his knees deeply, and as each cut rises, the legs are extended. The main focus of this exercise is to keep the sword balanced and controlled, stopping it perfectly at chest level on each descent. This exercise is progressive. The number of cuts in a set is based solely on the stamina of the individual. The second exercise is called Tai-Nijiru, or body twist. To practice, a long metal weapon called a tetsubo, or iron staff, is used. The weapon is swung from side to side, allowing its momentum to force the body to twist. This maneuver strengthens the torso, shoulders, and arms. The ninja must learn a series of footwork drills that teach them how to enter and attack forcefully, how to retreat without losing strength or balance, and how to counter and attack from oblique angles. The first footwork drill is the Mai Sugiyashi, or advancing step. This technique is used to enter and attack. The technique is applied by advancing with the lead foot as the sword is lifted over the head. The rear foot is then pulled in as the sword descends into its attack. The second footwork drill is the Yoshiro Sugiyashi, or receding step. This technique is applied by stepping straight backward with the rear foot as the sword is lifted over the head. The lead foot is then pulled back as the sword descends into its cut. The third footwork drill is the Yokoashi, or side step. In this movement, the ninja steps directly to the right or left side as the sword is raised. The weapon then descends as the ninja's opposite foot is drawn in. Upon completion of the technique, the ninja returns to a centered position. The fourth footwork drill is the Mai Nanamiyo Kuriyashi, or forward oblique advancing step. The movement in this technique is similar to that of the Sugiyashi, except that instead of moving directly forward, the initial step is taken to the forward angle. As the first foot enters, the sword is raised overhead. It descends as the rear foot is drawn in. Ninja employ a variety of specialized body dynamics that intensify the power of an attack. The first dynamic makes use of the shoulder. From an Earth Dragon posture, the ninja launches a downward angular attack. He allows his shoulder to blend with the momentum of the blade, which puts the weight of the torso behind the cut. To increase the power of this dynamic further, the ninja can also lift his right leg as he enters. He drops his leg quickly, using the energy of the drop to throw him into the attack. The leg can also be used in conjunction with the torso to amplify the power of a side cut. The ninja begins in a wind dragon posture. He cross-steps in with his back leg while leaving his sword to the rear. This creates a twist-like tension in the torso. As the foot steps down, the body is allowed to quickly unwind, sending the blade forward with enormous energy. If applying the torso twist dynamic from the left side, the left hand can be used to push the blade further into its target. The last of the body dynamic techniques is that of chest expansion. This method is used when the weapon is held in a single hand. To fortify the blade, the ninja expands his chest as the blade is set into motion, pulling his empty hand back as if it were applying a cut with a secondary sword. By combining grips, postures, basic attacks, footwork drills, and body dynamics, the ninja can begin practicing a series of multiple move sets that teach them to unite attacks in a fluid and graceful manner. Set 1 begins an Earth Dragon posture. The ninja steps forward and applies a downward cut. He then turns the blade and sends it into an upward cut as he extends his legs. Finally, he allows the blade to circle over his head and into a left side cut. Set 2 begins in Great Oak posture. The ninja steps forward and applies a firm right side attack, quickly followed by a single-handed left side attack. The ninja then maneuvers the sword over his head and into a right downward angular cut. Set 3 begins in Volcano posture. The ninja shuffles forward and executes a left downward angular cut, followed by a right downward angular cut. The ninja then chambers the weapon and sends it into a forward thrust. Set 4 begins in Wind Dragon posture. The ninja sends the blade into 3 consecutive upward angular attacks. He then recoils the weapon and sends it into a left downward angular cut. The number of upward angular attacks in this set can be increased to create a blade barrier-like shield. Set 5 begins in Mist posture. The ninja raises the sword and sends it into a right downward angular cut. He flips the weapon over and executes a left side cut. To finish, he sends the blade into another right downward angular attack. Set 6 begins in waterfall posture. The ninja steps forward and executes an upward cut. The ninja then shuffles forward and sends the blade into a downward attack. The final move is a reverse thrust. Once the ninja has learned each individual set, they can combine them to create a more complex form.